Actually, here's the good part is, oh yeah, Southwest Airlines. Here's the good part is, I thought I was going to be selected on a jury. Boy, I'm here today, so what did that tell you? Did you hear that? Oh. We must be really close to the flight path. What do you think? Yes, because that one I could see was American, the other one was Southwest Airlines. But you know, we're still at the beach. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm really glad to be here because that means I am not at jury duty. So here's some little points on jury duty. So yesterday, I was there at jury duty, and we were waiting and waiting and waiting. This is a continuation of this. First of all, how long does a juror have to serve for once they've been selected? Like I mentioned before, what you do is a lot of waiting. Fortunately, in the jury room, well, there's vending machines close by. The bathroom goes right into the room where all the jurors are waiting. There are some outlet plugs. You need to bring your own reading materials, and there are some computers where you can rent by the hour. Although, I don't know if you're going to be on there for an hour. This must be rush hour at the airport, because I don't think we've ever found quite so many airplanes interruptions. Anyway, going back to jury service, they started something, what they call is a one trial term of jury service, 1 day, 1 trial. So what does that mean? Does that mean you serve 1 day and you're done with? Well, that would really be nice, but it's not quite like that. When you go to the summit, they tell you that you need to for 1 week. But what that really means is, are you ready for this? I'm going to read this to you. It's the LA County is a 1 trial term of jury service. This means that you are placed on call for no more than 5 days. Okay, and can be asked to report for jury service on one of those days. So get that, on call for no more than 5 days. So the weekend before, you call in, find out if you need to call in again. And then if you go to jury service and your group isn't called, then you go home. And then each night you have to call in to see if you have to report the next day. I know, isn't that aggravating? I know, it's called jury service. I think that's one of those things that you hear the most groans about when you talk to people. I mean, that's about, maybe going to the dentist is more fun than going to jury service. You know, it kind of ranks up there, doesn't it? So, if you're needed to report and you are not selected for a jury panel by the end of that day, your service is completed. So, if you're in the jury room all day and you're not selected for a jury panel, your service is ended. But that doesn't mean that, like it's happened with me. So for me, since jury closed at the courtroom closed at 4:30, we figured that, you know, if we hadn't heard anything by 3 o'clock, then we'd probably be excused. Well, it was 10 minutes till 3, and they started calling our name. So what that meant was, well, of course you can guess, we were part of a jury pool where you go into the room, they give you instructions, they swear you in, tell the truth, the whole truth, you know, that whole thing. Of course, they do swear you in as a group, and I always wonder, it's like, how do they know that you agreed with it? Because, well, I guess they're probably videotaping everybody, right? Because how do they know if you said anything or not? So anyway, the attorneys are sitting there watching you, checking out the whole jury, and I went home after the first day knowing that I had to come back the next day and wait again to see if I was part of the jury panel. Now this does not include any of the time. At the beginning they told me that average jury trial was 3 to 5 days. Well, here's the trick on that, is even though they tell you that your jury service is for 1 week, you can be selected. So you can be selected for that jury panel, and then you have to wait and find out if, how should we say, your number's up. So, anyway, we waited, we got our jury instructions, we came back, and they told us, well, we're not quite ready for you to go back into the jury room. So again, started the entire waiting process. Well, now remember when I said, they said you have 1 week of service? Well, that 1 week of service can expand greatly, because that means you might have to call in for 5 days to start your jury service, to start the panel. And the 3 to 5 day average that they talk about is after the jury's been selected, plus you add deliberations onto that. Remember, even though we're talking about 1 week, you probably need to allow 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It could be longer. 10 weeks? So, let's see. It says, if you are placed on a jury panel, you will be required to serve until excused by the court or the case is completed. If you are asked to report on Thursday or Friday, you must be prepared to serve on a jury trial that may continue into the following week. And it says, please arrange your schedule accordingly. Boy, do you feel like you're scheduling in a vacuum closet? It's like you schedule, presuming that you're going to be on jury duty? Maybe. Because it was, what are the odds of you being on a jury duty? The judge and the attorney still have to select who the panel is going to be. So, of course, in the courtroom, or in the jury room, we're all sitting there going, of course, the number one thing is, okay, how do we get out of this? What do you think we should say? What do you think the judge is, right? And everybody's second guessing because you never know what they're looking for, because who knows, they may be looking for an all-white jury, an all-older jury, a younger jury, an African-American jury, an Asian jury, who knows what jury. Each attorney has their own idea as to what they're looking for. That one wasn't so bad. Further away, right? Okay. Oh, now. Where was it? Okay. Going back to serving on the jury. Now, here's the thing. They do tell you that if you have suggestions, go ahead and put it in the box. But they did say, don't. Although I guess you could. But they said it probably would not be wise to suggest that they serve the jury lunch because the prior week they had Jury Appreciation Day. For Jury Appreciation Day, we heard that they had crackers and coffee. So could you imagine what they'd serve you for lunch? Maybe crackers and cheese? Okay, so here are my suggestions. Now this is not only mine, but, you know, as jurors or potential jurors that were sitting there hanging out all day long, we had some ideas. Number one, it's like all the people that want to serve on a jury, because there are people that would like to serve on a jury. So number one is for those people that want to serve on a jury, let them volunteer and select the jury. Start with them. Number two, I know. Number two, for all the people that get paid for the entire time they're on jury service, go ahead and let them serve. And by that time, I wonder what your odds would be to be selected for a jury. Now, I did hear that there are some countries where there are professional jurors. I have a feeling we will not be choosing this location to shoot from again, because I had no idea there were so many airplanes that would be coming by. So if this sounds a little bit choppy, you'll understand why. Anyway, some countries, they can have professional jurors that all they do, that's like their occupation, they are a juror. Now also I know, could you imagine that? Forget, you don't have to go through that whole elongated process of waiting. You could just have that as your occupation if that's what you wanted to do. Could that be someplace like England where the attorneys can also be from the same firm? And the judge, well, he talks to the attorneys. And it's not always during the trial. I don't know, maybe that would be better. But then, how could that be a jury of your peers? Well, I don't know about that. Well, whichever system it is, you can always come up with ideas to make it better. But to get a true jury of your peers, now, does that sound like a contradiction? So, our system is not perfect. But you know what? It's what we have. And you never know what might happen, because whoever thought that you could make appointments at the DMV instead of waiting all day? So this is Notaspringchick on jury duty. We're here yesterday, today, and tomorrow.